Hello, this is Sybil Harmony, and this is a video about the message I got from the aliens. I received from the aliens. So it was pretty amazing. It kind of makes my head ring a little. My head was like ringing at 3 a.m. this morning. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to look at governmental things that are happening and kind of give you guys a healing and so let's get started. Let's tune in. Welcome if you're new to my channel. And if you're just a person that doesn't follow, world events or politics, and I don't want to freak anybody out with this. If you're just a regular person, there's bliss in ignorance is bliss. I'm not calling anybody ignorant, but when you don't know things, sometimes it's better. So if you're just a person that just saw my title here, aliens, and wanted to hear about that, it's not a bad message. I actually have good messages from the aliens, but I kind of don't want to, if you're a young person or something, or you're having a fairly good, happy life, maybe just go back to your game shows or, whatever other things you watch that are not, but it's good to, prepared, not to be fearful, but to be prepared, because there is a lot, we're kind of on a roller coaster ride here in America and in the world, because they're appearing all over the world. So let's talk about the aliens first, and then we'll talk about some political things and kind of do a little bit of a healing. And so I'm a psychic healer and a medium. I like to call myself an intuitive. And I also want to mention there is a big purple orb here, okay? And she's really bright today. It almost feels heart-shaped, like it's some kind of reflection energy that the heart-shaped crystal is bringing through. And I've had a couple people over here to debunk this. And that's how I usually see spirit is light form, because angels and guides, and you are energy, your true essence, your true self is energy. Whether you believe in angels or guides, I don't really care. But you are energy, spirit here, temporarily in a physical body with a personality and a name. But your soul is forever, energy is forever. And that's kind of what this is bringing through. But this is for you all to see and to believe and to have faith, much like we're all seeing the aliens come in now. We're having phenomena that we have not seen before, and this is that. And it's if you've been a subscriber of mine, you know me. I'm very dyslexic. I can't edit my videos. Whatever I record, that's what goes up. I always tell people I belong out in the woods with the flowers and the butterflies or something. I am not a technical person, and I don't pretend to be. And that has nothing to do with intelligence. It has to do with the way who I am and how I work. And so I'm very good at what I do, which is energy healing and connecting with spirit. But I'm not very good with this, all this, and I don't pretend to be. There's no way I could manufacture that. I actually called a psychic. I called a couple people over here to check it out, my tech guy and stuff. And he's pretty open-minded kind of person. And he was like, yeah, I don't know what that is. And I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. And that's how I see spirit with my eyes, but I don't see this with my eyes or in real time. This is only on the camera for you all, okay? And so don't be afraid of the drones and the aliens coming in, because, well, we're going to talk about what's drones and what's government, because it's both. There's not just one or the other. There's both. And this is what they told me. And so anyway, but back to my orb. So I have not been able to debunk this. It's there on the camera at night. There's no sunlight. Today it's a rainy day. It's kind of dark in here. There's no sunlight shining a reflection. Okay. And I feel like it's somehow connected to the heart chakra here, the amethyst crystal. And I also, when I asked what it was, she said she was Divine Mother. And when I'm really open in my heart and doing my healing work, she comes in stronger. If I'm doing more, if I'm getting tired or doing more political stuff, that's kind of a lower frequency, It's not really very bright, but today, very bright and very clear. And I have called a couple of paranormal investigators to come out and examine this. And so, because I just, I mean, there was things in the 80s, like up in Mount Shasta, where there was this angel on a TV, and this lady couldn't get the TV to work. It wasn't plugged in or something, but there was, or it was plugged in, but there were no channels, but there was this angel floating around, and all these people started coming to her house to see the angel. And then there were big lines and crowds and people trying to crawl in the windows and stuff. And she was like, no, I don't want to be bothered. But finally, I guess it went away. But so it's kind of like that, but nobody knows where I live. Okay, I haven't told local people. This is not a big town or a small town. I'll say that. Okay, so I did for you all, this is for you to have faith and belief that energy is real, spirit is real. We are being protected and watched over by the light, by higher beings. Could those be aliens? Sure. And this is very real. And if you're a skeptic and you don't believe me, it's okay. Be an open-minded skeptic. I was for years. I did these healings and saw the stuff, and I was still like, I don't know if I'm making this up, because we're programmed to doubt ourselves and to believe. We only use 7% of our brain. And so there is 3 areas that of intelligence that I like, we can call it that, or consciousness. One is the con man, somebody who can con you and trick you and get over on you, and they think they're pretty clever. So there's clever. That's a con man. Okay, so they'll use deceit or whatever, and they'll get their way, and they think they got it going on because they're conning you, and they may be conning themselves. Okay, so that's one category, clever. Okay, the next category is intelligence. Intelligence is percentages, degrees, learned, educated, technology, and that is needed and very helpful. Medical science, this is very, very much needed and helpful to be intelligent. We are, what do you call that? I'm channeling, so it's not coming to my mind, not legible. We can read, we can write. No, it's good to be intelligent. Okay. However, there is wisdom, and wisdom leaves the lab rats. In other words, you conducted an experiment on animals because you wanted scientific, evidence or advice or things like that, but you've lost something. You've lost wisdom, because wisdom leaves the lab rats in the dust. Because what are you doing to another creature? It's almost like, wait a minute, is what you're doing so much of that value that you're willing to hurt something that's living? For what reason? And I don't want to get into that, but it's more like wisdom was like King Solomon, when the 2 mothers were fighting over the babies, and so he said, well, I'll cut the baby in half and you can both have half the baby. And the real mother said, the fake mother said, yeah, do it. And the real mother said, don't hurt the baby. See, that is wisdom. Wisdom is more heart-centered. It's more centered in these centers of neutrality and the observer, and the centers above our head, that we are so much more than the physical world. And this is the light of wisdom, Divine Mother, the light that, like back like 200 years ago, if you'd have showed somebody this video or TV, they'd have thought you were God. They thought you were crazy if you told them we could do this, or fly in an airplane or whatever, And so we haven't really grown up enough as a species to understand everything that there is. And religion, or people who try to control you with fear, will say, well, you're crazy. There's no aliens, there's no light, there's no nothing. You're a meat suit and then you die. Survival of the fittest. You better just climb on, step on anybody you can to climb up the success ladder. That's clever. Okay. or use your brain. So I'm saying, yeah, be intellectual, use your brain, be an open-minded skeptic. I remember I was doing healing work one day and the angels were in my hands and people were saying, oh, go to her. She's, you'll get to hear your angels or whatever. And I still had this mindset. I don't anymore because I believe now and I'm connected. I've come close to death many times. I've seen a lot in my life and I am open. Okay. So, but at that time, I still didn't quite believe. And so I said, come out of my hands. I was healing them. They were in my hands. Like, I don't even know if this is real. I must be crazy. And he popped out of my hands and almost knocked me over. And there was this being standing in front of me. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. I called this one paranormal investigator yesterday and I started telling him my story. And he goes, yeah, you should call someone else because I don't believe in any paranormal phenomena. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Somebody here just trying to disprove stuff. That's going to be hard to do in the years to come, dude, because, get ready for what's coming. Okay. For the new energy. Yeah. So I called somebody else and left a message. I don't know if they're going to get back to me. And I don't know that that's really the best, like have it proven and documented, like seeing is believing. I don't care. I guess I don't care if you want to believe in spirit, that we are more than just the physical body, then that's cool. If you don't, you're not ready. I'm not here to push anybody. I'm not, I am just, it is what it is. Okay. So let's talk about what the aliens said. So apparently there were more drones in New Jersey and drones than all over and in certain places near water, and people have seen them going into water, but they're also in other countries. And so why are they coming out now? And so I went in and I talked to them, and I don't know if I'm going to channel a little bit here. Let's see. My voice kind of goes a little higher if I start to channel. I don't know if I'm going to do that because this energy is not like my regular guides. I'm used to working with my guides, and that's a lot of energy to work with some of the guides I work with, but their energy was totally different because I don't usually work with alien beings, and I have seen them before, different beings. They're all different kinds of aliens. Like if you go out in the country and look up in the sky at the stars, all the different stars you see, that's how many kinds of aliens there are. But there are aliens here that are helping us. There are also aliens that are not helping us. It's like there's no mistake that there's movies about, all these movies here on Earth about saving the world and the aliens and all this stuff. And so there's two different main groups going on here. What they're telling me is that there is the aliens, and then for entertainment purposes only. I don't know any names. I'm just a little psychic channeling some energy here. So I don't know who these people are, why they're doing this. I know it's wrong, but probably has to do with, let's see, I'm dyslexic, so I don't want to say the word, so I'm going to write it NASA, I think. Something with the government that was putting out spaceships that saw life on the moon and didn't tell us what they were seeing, and that has been using their technology, stealing the technology of crashed ships and hiding it from people. And this isn't Biden, and it isn't the incoming president. They don't really know about this. This has been going on since the 50s, since that Roswell thing or whatever, or maybe before that. And they've known that these beings are coming here, different types of beings, and they're hiding it, and they're taking their technology and using it, hiding it, and then all this, threatening people and all this. So this is more like some form of the military or NASA, I'll say. So something like that group of people. They may have been descendants from the Nazis in World War II, because the things that they're doing are really science orientated and have no wisdom. In fact, there is dark and there is light here. And there has always been dark and light here on this planet. And who is prevailing? Look at all the big events, and this is not to scare people, but just so that you're prepared. And this may not be that at all, okay? But so look at the big events that have happened here recently, like COVID and the crash of 08. So these are groups, and there's some stuff about COVID that I can't talk about here. I might talk about it in my members channel if people ask me, but I can't really talk about what happened to me. I was one of the first people in California that I know of to get it, and the things that happened to me, and I was protected by aliens and my guides, but I can't really talk about that here because those videos have been taken off. And I'm not an anti-vaxxer or something. I can't talk about what happened to me. And I don't even know who these people are that are doing this, but be careful in these times when there's things going on that they want to distract you from, or the, small percent of people want to take power. They really hurt the economy in America in 08. What happened during COVID is big business made record profits and CEOs, and little businesses were shut down and people died, okay? So I'm not saying 9/11 was a planned, I'm not saying it is or isn't. I don't know. I've never looked at 9/11. Was that created? Some people think it was. I don't know. I'm going to say I'm not going to look at that. But then we had the Iraq War. So when these small group of people want to do things to scare people or control people, they have things that they are doing, and that is not cool. So I'm just going to leave that like it is there, but just be careful of what you're listening to, and who, are being controlled by fear and all that. Okay. So I do believe that I see that Biden has talked to these aliens, the good aliens that are here. And the reason that, having said all that about these things, that I don't know, is this a big thing that's going to happen where they're going to try to come in and control us again? I don't know. Okay. That maybe isn't decided yet. But Biden did not know about the government, whatever stuff, or chose not. Neither president-elect or the president or the vice president really know or in control of what's going on with this small group that's, highly secretive and doing these weird things they've been doing, the government. And so that's some of the drones you're seeing. It's the government drones, their technology. And they're trying to make it seem like the aliens are bad. There are bad aliens, but there are also good aliens. I know people who've talked to aliens, like had them in their house. I also know people who have been abducted and seen their children up on a spaceship, their daughter or something, or have so there's a lot of hybrids. The aliens have been here. They're here. They've been here for millennia. For where do you think most of us come from? And that's a whole nother video. And you can watch the show Ancient Aliens, and they have a lot of good information on there that they're putting out. So that is there, okay. But there are good aliens, and why they told me they are coming in and more active now and going in and out of the water, because some of these are government drones that are trying to confuse people or control people or cause, but the real aliens are really more active now. And I'll tell you why. Because of this election result, and I'm not against Democrat or Republican. I'm just for the people of the world and of America, okay? So just know that when I'm saying this, because a lot of the Trump people want to say that, the alien, they're bad, and they're, that Biden's doing it. And then on Biden's side, they're like, oh, they're doing it. And so I'm not going to go there. I don't really feel like this is about that, but it is about our planet, peace, and the environment. That's what they're concerned about, because the good aliens that are here, they're trying to promote peace. And they see that we are acting out and out of control. And this new administration that, I do feel, I'll talk about that more in a little bit, about evidence about was the technology rigged in the election. I've seen that too. Okay. So, but what they're going to do about it, if they can do something about it, that's another story. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But so what's happening is that they are concerned about the environment, that there not be another world WAR 3, that not happen. They're trying to prevent that. And our environment is on the brink of, you see this crazy weather. They've tried to help us and tell us and stabilize things like we're teenagers and we're out of control, and there are the parents in the room and they're trying to calm things down, stabilize the planet, stabilize the weather. But with what we're doing, they're unable to do it. And with this new administration coming in that is going to drill, and going to be isolationists and get out of NATO, or try to get out of NATO, or be against them, with other big countries trying to, starting with an R mostly, or C, trying to be in control. There's something about the country starting with an I, R-I-A-N, that country too, that is really against this new president coming in, but they're not really for the environment. They're just like rogue actors that I'm not really sure. I don't really want to get into that here. But because of the destabilized situation that we're in, what we've done to this planet, the threat of nuclear wars or explosions, and these people that are trying to control people with fear with these horrific events, they're trying to let us know that they are here and they are assisting us. And might they be, I don't know what they said to Biden. I know that Biden has seen them, and that was recently, because I don't feel like he's seen them before, but he is freaking freaked out about this. And that's why they're being very cautious about a lot of things. There's a lot going on right now. And so my suggestion to you is know that there are beings of light here helping us. They don't, I don't really get, like, I had this ringing in my ear at like 3 a.m. for like 2 hours. I'm like, oh my God, can you get out of my head? After talking to these, because I'm not used to talking to these types of beings, and I'm really sensitive to energy, but I know how to clear it. So I cleared that, but they are here to assist us and to bring conscious awareness to our planet. And might they be helping? I mean, so that's what I'd like to think. They're helping Biden to, because the election was unfairly, there was discrepancies. They have evidence. Okay, so now I'm going to get into that. There's discrepancies and evidence. And this is not like when they said it was stolen in 2020, because they had no evidence. And then they tried to overthrow the government. So I'm not suggesting anybody overthrow the government or have a coup, and they don't want to do that. But if there is evidence that our votes are being tampered with, we need to find out so it doesn't happen again. And many people on the left feel like he shouldn't be in there because of this. And so if there is evidence, and there is evidence, so I saw that Kamala has the evidence. She's brought it to Biden. She knows something happened with the satellites and votes were changed. That many people did not vote for him. I know he has a lot of support, and people are giving up their power and going, okay, he won, we're going to, kiss the ring or whatever. I know people are doing that, but these are a small group of billionaires that propped him up, don't really want him in there, and might try to get him out. So he may not make it to inauguration. It's like a wild card, whatever. Every time I look at it, I'm like, that looks crazy. I don't, will he make it through the first year? Probably not. Well, so it's kind of a wild card, what's going to happen. They have this information about the election, which is huge, but they're being very cautious. Will they bring it out, and what will they do with it? This is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know who these people are who got the information. I don't know. I just saw that Kamala saw it. She knows it. And I kind of feel upset, like how the left just kind of threw her under the bus, mostly because the mainstream media, because she's not really supporting corporations the way that the mainstream media wants, so she has to be, totally scrutinized, and what is she going to do? And, because they weren't going to get their tax breaks. So, and they're big corporations, mass media, big, the military complex, big pharma. This is all big money. And they want to have somebody they can control. And 45 is willing to work with them. He will sell his soul. He's already done that. And America. He's still grifting. Melania's now having, you can have dinner with her for $1 million. I mean, this is insaneville that we're living in, okay? And there's drones, there's aliens, and there's governmental stuff going on. So what's going to happen? A lot. What do you need to do? Take care of yourself. Prepare yourself. Do not be afraid. Keep a little cash. Keep gas in your car in case the power goes out or something like that. So in case there's weird weather, there is going to be weird weather. There's, there was a tornado here in California where there's never tornadoes. Okay. So weird stuff is happening, but you can be safe and protected. How? Breathe, ground, my guides protect me and they walk me through things, and understand that we are here to learn, that everything here is teaching us. So we are waking up. We are in this time on Earth, in a time of awakening of consciousness, and the 3D level is going freaking nuts. And if you want to get into a bunch of fear and panic, it's not going to assist you, because it's not a way to live. It's not a way to prosper. It's not a way to be healthy. And, I just talked to somebody this morning, got a message from somebody who was really upset. And then of course she fell and had an accident. Don't get ungrounded and panicked and do all that. So stop it. You got to stop that. Connect in with the light, ask for guidance, walk me through this, help me out. Now I'm going to be doing a healing whatever video for Christmas on the 21st of the solstice. So please check me out. Saturday, the solstice. I'm going to try to go live. Okay. I'm going to be on with members before that. I haven't figured out how to go live with members yet because I'm not a technical person, but I'm going to be there. So you can leave questions in the member section if you're a member, for what you want me to answer for you, or if you want a healing on something. So join my membership. Then the 21st is totally free for everybody. I'm going to be doing a meditation. And now I'm going to be going on with Cool Crone later, an astrologer today. And then Susan Lynn is having me on Wednesday. We're going to be 4 o'clock for healings. And we're going to be live this Wednesday. So check us out. And please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me put me out there and support me during this time, because this is a lot for me to do. And I am grateful and happy to do it. I am here to be of service. Here of service, signing out. Love yourself, breathe. It's going to be okay. We are, be prepared, because we don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot happening, though. It's going to be a wild ride, and we're going to be okay. We're going to get through this. We're going to do this. All right? Take care. Sending you lots of love. Bye.